We've had a good preseason practice. The only injury worth talking about has been William Cole. Everybody's aware of that. Otherwise, we're healthy. We're not going to name a backup quarterback prior to the game. Both guys have gotten better, but there hadn't been one that's done anything in practice to distance himself from the other. So we're going to keep both of them in the same amount of reps that they've had throughout the weeks and go from there. And hopefully we'll be able to get some of those guys some experience before they have to be in a critical situation. But we are comfortable with where they're at, and we are comfortable with the number of reps that they've had. So other than that, we're just looking forward to 2 more heavy practices, and then obviously cutting back Wednesday and Thursday and traveling out there on Thursday night and getting ready to play in the game.
Mike, how difficult is it to prepare for a team, first game of the season that's got a whole new coaching staff and apparently going to do things that completely different from what Washington State has done before?
Well, I think that we have to make sure that we understand our game plan and not really worry about what they do, because we don't have any idea what they're going to do. I think that most coaches across the country would think that there's going to be some consistency with what they were doing on offense because the majority of their staff is there. But defensively, it's split up, so we really don't have any idea what they're going to do. So all we can do is prepare and do the best we can and make the adjustments early in the game.
If you are forced to make a decision on a backup quarterback, will that just be a situational thing based on how you feel?
Yeah, we don't really have a guy that we're ready to name as a backup quarterback, so I guess that would be the best way to put it.
I mean, so if you get into the game, it'll just be based on how you feel?
And watching the remainder of the practices this week. We've put them in situations, and they've both done fairly well. But then they've both made some mistakes, which is to be expected by players who don't have that much experience. So it'd be more of where we were at in the game.
You've coached 3 NFL running backs since you returned in 01. Do you think Kendall's in that class?
It's too early to say for him. Kendall's got 2 things that I think are very important in playing at this level, and then obviously guys that have had success at the next level. First being he's very durable, and second being that he's not really concerned with his personal statistics. He's more concerned about the team, and he's got both of those. But how he progresses throughout his career, Kendall needs to become a better receiver as a running back, needs to protect better. He'll get a better feel for the offense and understand as he goes on. He did a nice job last year as a true freshman, but he still has a ways to go. But he does have the ability to make you miss, and he can get in the open field and run away from you. He's probably faster than what most people think.
Is he clearly defined as your feature back going into the season? Or is he just...
I would say that he and Bo will probably split reps.
Mike, you guys started having a little more success on the road at the end of the last season. Is that just a matter of you had more experienced players? Does that bode well for you guys this year on the road? That you got a lot more guys who played than you have had perhaps in the past when you opened the season on the road?
I think we're better. That's a tough question. I think it has to do with the experience in your team, the maturity. And I also think it has to do with how good you are as a football team. We were a better team later than we were earlier for 2 reasons. The first reason was Dantrell Savage wasn't playing earlier. When he wasn't playing, we weren't as good. I think the team we played last year to open the season was probably better than what people thought they were, just because they had some youth. I think that they're still pretty good youth. I think you found out. I just happened to walk through the living room the other day, and there was a show on for College Football Preview, and they listed the running back as the best running back in the country. I don't know what his name is. I saw the front and the back of him all day, but I never did catch his name. But I think he's a pretty good player. I think that may have had something to do with it.
Is it maybe, you guys last year, you opened down at Georgia, one of the toughest places to play anywhere. This year you're going out to Seattle. I'm sure Washington State obviously is going to have a lot of fans there, but it's almost kind of a road game for them. It's 300 miles from their campus. Does that maybe even things out a little bit?
It's really not. We've been told that it's the loudest stadium in the NFL, and they're supposed to have 55,000 fans there. I was unaware of that, but they say that There's one particular end zone because of the way that it's got a partially closed structure, is the loudest area in the NFL. Now, you guys could probably research that and get more information than I could, but that's what I was told a couple weeks ago. So it'll be a true road test for us. I mean, if they have 50,000 fans there and we're in a stadium that's pretty loud, it'll be a definite road test for us.
Have you prepared any differently, knowing that?
No, I don't. We just have prepared the same way we have. We haven't really worried about it, but hopefully that we're far enough along as an offense now where sound can become more of a factor that our guys can communicate.
Mike, have you all named captains yet?
No, we're going to do that tonight after practice.
After you've seen the junior college guys for about 40 some odd practices or whatever else, are you hopeful that you'll be better on defense or certain?
We'll be better on defense from a depth and a speed standpoint. It's hard to say you're going to go from 100 and whatever you were to 50th, or the statistics can be misleading, and I've never really gotten into that much. But we're better now on defense than we were because they understand the system. We have more depth, and we have more maturity there just from the age factor. The junior college players aren't going to step in and play 50 plays in the game. That's not going to happen. But if they can play 12 or 15, it'll be much better than what some of the guys had to go through last year. And I think we'll see more results through the middle and the latter part of the season.
Mike, would you talk about Hartrell getting to this point and what it will mean if he gets to get on the field on Saturday?
Well, he's going to get on the field. I mean, I would suspect he'll play 30, 35 plays somewhere in that area at his position. He's on special teams. He's going to play on 2 special teams, and then he'll obviously play receiver. And, we've talked about it a lot, not to keep to repeat ourselves or myself, but it's really an incredible story. And for him to have the willpower to do it, and the medical staff that put him back together, and the people here at OSU that rehabilitated him, is a pretty amazing story.
Does he continue to get better?
Gets better every day. I noticed just in the last couple weeks that he gets hit more and he bounces up, and I worried about it from day one. I cringed every time somebody got around him and hit him, even though he's structurally stronger than he was to start with, is what we've been told. And I saw a little bit in that in him, which is like you could expect. And every day I see him getting hit more and falling down and people piling on him, and he gets up and goes back to the huddle. And I'm sure it may be in the back of his mind, but for the most part, I think he's gotten over it.
You think there's a difference between the guy gets hurt that bad on the field? He got hurt in a flukish weight deal.
That's a good question. I would think it probably is an advantage to getting hurt off the field versus it happened on the field, like what was the incident with the guy who was at the Patriots?
Stingley.
Yeah, that would be I know as a player that would be in the back of my mind more so than what happened. That may help him some. But he's doing good. I think he's doing fine. And I would think, and again, this is me guessing, but I would think that he'll feel better after the first game. He gets 25, 30, 35 plays, and he's been hit, and he's gone through it. I think he would start to get a lot better really fast.